On March 7th, 1987, John W. Powell died at Cincinnati's Drake Hospital. Powell had been in a horrible motorcycle accident and was on life support. His death could very easily have been attributed to his accident had it not been for the nose of Dr. Lee D. Lehman. While doing the autopsy on Powell, Lehman noticed a smell like almonds. Now, Powell had been on life support. He hadn't eaten any almonds. The investigation that followed would reveal the biggest serial killer in Cincinnati's history. My name is Jim Jones, and this is Murder, Mysteries, and Mayhem. Murder, Mysteries, and Mayhem is brought to you by Cincy Entertainment. Give us a call for all of your entertainment needs. Before the break, I told you about the almond smell. Now, the almond smell is indicative of cyanide. Now, not everybody could smell it, and Dr. Lehman could. He was certain it was murder and notified the police. During the investigation, Donald Harvey, a nurse at Drake, who had been fired from Cincinnati's VA hospital for stealing body parts to use in occult rituals, became the prime suspect. Under questioning, Harvey confessed to the murder, but that's where the story just begins. On a side note, Donald Harvey was my dad's nurse twice when he was at the VA, and Dad always said, "I'm glad he liked me." Harvey would sit there with Dad sometimes during lunch, and they'd eat lunch. He called him Tommy, and kind of scary if you think about it. Here are the three hospitals that Harvey worked at: Marymount Hospital, Cincinnati VA Hospital, that's the one my dad was in many times, and Drake Hospital, his final hospital. Now, Harvey was born in Hamilton, Ohio, just a few miles from where I'm recording this. He was the oldest son of three children born to Goldie and Ray Harvey. He was raised in Boonville, Kentucky, and from the age of 5, he was abused by both an uncle and a neighbor. He dropped out of high school in 9th grade, although he did earn a GED in 1968. In 71, he was arrested for burglary, and after that, he enlisted into the Air Force. Now, he was discharged from there after 9 months after 2 suicide attempts. After that, he began to work as an orderly at Marymount Hospital in London, Kentucky. He later confessed that while there, he killed at least a dozen patients, and he admitted that his second victim was killed while he was in a room with a 12-year-old boy. While he insisted he killed patients out of a sense of pity for the terminally ill, he did admit to killing some just because he was mad at them. There seemed to be no modus operandi other than they seemed to be cardiac patients. And he used a lot of methods to kill his victims: arsenic, cyanide, insulin, suffocation, other poisons, morphine, turning off ventilators, fluids tainted with hepatitis B and or HIV. Once he inserted a wire hanger into a catheter, causing an abdominal puncture. Cyanide and arsenic used to be his favorite. While the majority of his murders were conducted at 3 hospitals, there were other victims. He suspected his lover and roommate, Carl Holweller, of cheating on him, and he put arsenic in his food so he would be too sick to leave their apartment. He poisoned 2 of his neighbors. Diane Alexander was sickened when he put hepatitis serum in her drink. And the other neighbor, Helen Metzger, died after eating pie laced with arsenic. We'll be back in just a minute. Jim Jones's Elvis now booking. Shows tailored to fit your time frame as well as your budget. The real case breaker of our story. Pat Menarson, who was at the time the anchor for WCPO TV, found it highly unlikely that someone who spent almost 2 decades caring for patients would suddenly kill one. He was sure Harvey had done it before. During his report on the night of Harvey's arrest, Menarson asked on the air if there were any other deaths. It was soon revealed that several nurses at Drake had raised concerns over the spike in deaths at the hospital since Harvey started working there. The hospital administration ordered them to keep quiet. Not wanting to take the chance that Harvey might be acquitted, the nurses contacted Minarson and told him that there was evidence that Harvey had killed at least 10 more people. Over the next several months, Minarson investigated the suspicious death and compiled enough evidence to air a half-hour special report detailing evidence that linked Harvey to at least 24 murders in a 4-year period. Harvey was able to stay under the radar because he worked in an area of the hospital where patients weren't exactly expected to live very long. When Harvey's court-appointed attorney, Bill Whalen, was told about Minarson's findings, he asked Harvey if he had killed anyone else. He said by his estimated he had killed as many as 70 people. Now, Whalen knew that if prosecutors could link Harvey to more than one killing, Ohio law allowed them to seek the death penalty. And in a bid to save Harvey's life, Whalen told prosecutors that Harvey would accept the penalty of life without parole and confess to all his murders. The prosecutor agreed, and Harvey admitted to killing 24 people. In August 1987, Harvey pled guilty to 24 counts of first-degree murder and was sentenced to 3 concurrent life sentences. Now, the prosecutors were allowed to seek the death penalty if more murders came to light. With that in mind, Harvey also pled guilty in Laurel County Circuit Court to killing 9 patients at Marymount Hospital in the 1970s. He was sentenced to life plus 20 years to run concurrently with his Ohio sentence. Now, ultimately, Harvey pled guilty to 37 murders. However, he confessed to killing as many as 50. Harvey was admitted to the Ohio prison system on October 26, 1987. The death of the Angel of Death. On March 28, 2017, prison officials reported that Harvey had been found in his cell severely beaten. 2 days later, on March 30th, Harvey died. On May 3rd, 2019, fellow inmate James Elliott was charged with aggravated murder plus other charges in the death of Donald Harvey. He was sentenced to 25 years to life after pleading guilty to killing Harvey. The sentence was originally ordered to run consecutively with Elliott's other sentences, but was changed to run concurrently, making Elliott eligible for parole in 2046 at the age of 71. Now, all told, there were officially 47 victims of Harvey, although it's highly likely there are many more that we will never know. Now, I hope this sheds a little bit of light on Greater Cincinnati's most notorious serial killer. Now, this was my first attempt at doing a true crime vlog. And I know it's a bit rough, but they'll get better as we go along. So for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on Murder, Mysteries, and Mayhem.